Hello and welcome to this edition of Iron Sports, and I am Jermaine Brown. In this edition, we dissect the selection of the West Indies World Cup squad to the tournament starting next month, and the squad has raised a few eyebrows. As usual, let us know what you think by heading to our Facebook page, Iron Sports JA. We take a break, but stick around. When we come back, we're going to be heading out to the wicket. Soon come. Right then, welcome back to Iron Sports. The West Indies have submitted their 15-man provisional squad for the upcoming ICC World Cup in England. The two-time champions have named 5 Jamaicans in the squad, as well as 9 debutants to be under the supervision of head coach Floyd Reefer and captain Jason Holder. However, there was no place for another Jamaican, Marlon Samuels, who was instrumental in helping the team to qualify, as well as Trinidadians Kieran Pollard and Sunil Narain. Joining us now on Iron Sports to discuss this squad and what's to come in England, former Jamaican West Indies off-spinner Nehemiah Perry, as well as our very own cricket analyst, get this, Christopher Gale. Welcome, Chris, and welcome, Nehemiah, to Iron Sports.
Thanks.
All right, let me start with you, Nehemiah, because as a matter of fact, yourself a World Cup veteran. You were there in 1999, coincidentally when it was held in England as well.
That's right.
So who more apt to discuss such a tournament to be held once again in England than yourself? Your take on this 15-man provisional squad, and is it a balanced one, you think?
I think it's the best that we could come up with, to be honest. I think it's a very good squad. When you look at the firepower at the top, you know, Gale with the experience, you have Evan Lewis, who has come back, and I mean, he went out of sort a little bit, but it's good to see him back. Young Edmire, exciting young Edmire. I'm looking forward to see him, how he cope with the condition in England. It's not going to be easy. The fast bowling look good, you know, but it's to get it right. You know, it don't make no sense you have fast bowlers who just going to run in and bowl fast, but you can go for runs. You have to be steady as well. So they have to be mindful of that. The condition in England going to be maybe tricky. You know, we have to wait and see what happens in May. Normally it's a little damp and cold, so it's going to be a little challenging. But I think it's a very good squad, considering what we have. I wouldn't mind seeing a Narain, you know, maybe even Pollard in this squad. But I think this is a very good squad. It's a strong team.
Yeah. Chris, when you look at the squad, who do you think, or is there anyone who you think should have been in the squad that you don't see here, and who shouldn't be in the squad based on your own analysis?
Well, I think Carlos Brathwaite, I think he was lucky to get in the squad. I think he makes it all-rounder too much. I think we don't want to create where we have too much all-rounders. We want to have specialist batsmen, specialist bowlers, and I think the batting probably is a bit short when we look at, as we have, do we really have suitable replacements? So I think I would go in with the batting of Kieran Pollard or Akimo Paul, because I'm a bit concerned about the death bowling. I think we're having some problems in the past, and I think he's one of the guys who has, in recent times, come along and seems like he can manage that workload of bowling in the depth. So I think we don't want to pick too much all-rounders. I think we're probably all-rounder too much with Carlos Brathwaite.
Nehemiah, your thoughts on Marlon Samuels missing out? He did help the team to qualify at the qualifiers in Afghanistan. Pollard also out, and Fabian Allen in. Yeah. Let's look at our own young spinner, all-rounder as well, getting the nod ahead of Pollard.
Exciting fielder also.
Yeah. You know, to be honest, you look at what Marlon did, you know, in the qualifiers. You know, average, and Marlon hasn't played any cricket since, I think, either December or somewhere like that. You know, he came back to Jamaica. We're not sure what kind of form he is in, if he's playing any cricket. Senior Cup just finished, and, you know, you would have thought that Marlon would have probably get himself involved in Senior Cup, playing some sort of cricket, maybe seen down at Melbourne in the nets, working hard at his game. But I don't think they saw enough of that and the interest for West Indies cricket. They thought that go with that more exciting younger player.
Do you think a change in administration would have impacted him missing out as well? Because it would seem as if there was an understanding, quote unquote, that he and Gale, two seniors who answered the call of duty for the qualifiers, Pollard, Narayan, others didn't. He and Gale went, and it would seem as if that having helped the team qualify, then he and Gale would have been able to have a swan song at this World Cup. Chris?
But I think that probably, a problem of loyalty somewhat would have played in with the decision also, if it was a previous administration. But as Nimai said, I mean, he's been short on cricket, and I think a lot of these guys who are in the team, they have picked themselves to be there. When you look at young Hope, young Hepmeyer, a lot of these guys, they have picked themselves to be there. And I think, how do we think, where will Marlon really fit into that 11? And I think if a Marlon Samuels at his age, supposed to have a lot of experience, I think if you're not seeing him in the first 11, I think you're probably better off just leave him at home.
Yeah, I think just elaborate a little. I think the days are gone when, you know, it's sentiments and so on.
Yep.
Look, at the end of the day,
merit.
You have to be playing cricket, and you have to get into this side by merit. You know what I mean? I think that's the way forward. I think if you perform, if you're on song and you're performing well, you deserve a game. And that if you're not playing any cricket at all, not even running and getting fit and keeping yourself fit.
We didn't see him in the Tri-Nation series. The Island, he was not in that squad also for the Islands tour. So I think with him not in that squad also, I think it send the signal that he would be out for the World Cup.
Fabian Allen, young, exciting talent. Has he been selected more on potential than for what he has actually delivered so far for the West Indies?
Well, you don't have to get picked in a team by performance. You can get picked on potential. And I think that he has enormous potential to be a good player. He hasn't really light up the place as yet with performance, but I have seen some quality in him. Brilliant fielder, bold a little left arm spin, and when he's on song and batting, he can be very, very devastating. When you look at him in the Caribbean Premier League, you saw him in the Canada Premier League as well, and he's coming on, you know. But to take him to England to get some experience as well, you know, to ensure that maybe in the future you look at players like that in the World Cup to come.
I like that you spoke of, you know, his leg spins, because the West Indies, only team heading into the tournament without an out-and-out leg spinner. Narayan would have been a good selection for us if he was available. Your thoughts, Chris, on us not having an out-and-out leg spinner in the squad and having a heavily dependent fast bowler?
Well, we've been trying with a leg spinner for probably about 2 years. We've been trying really hard to see if Bishu is the man for the job, and I think he has failed miserable. I think for me, I think the toss-up would have been between a Fabian Allen and a Kyrie Perry. And I think Fabian Allen, he's been amongst the team. He went to India, he went to Bangladesh, so I think he has more international experience at this time. And you're picking a team to win the World Cup, not just for experience, but you pick a team to win the World Cup. So I think Fabian Allen would have gotten the nod over underperforming Bishu and Kyrie Perry, because I think if it's not a leg spin, you're going to go for the left arm spin, which kind of offers the same thing. Yes, Kyrie Perry of Trinidad. So I think it was a toss-up between those three. And I think for me, Fabian Allen definitely the better pick at this moment in time.
But one other thing, though, Jeremy and Chris, you have to understand the England conditions. Finger spinners does better in England than the wrist spins. So I think it's a very good move in terms of carrying Nurse, I've never really set the place on fire as well, but he has hold his own, to be honest.
Right.
You know, he's been there and there about, you know, he can give you a 30 quick and stuff like that. So, but the key to this squad, I believe, is the preparation. How well they gel together, how quickly they gel together, right? Because everybody on that team need to know each and every one of them team strengths and weaknesses. So that is how team is that everybody needs to know what capable, what he can do, you know, if he's good at spin, if he's good at pace, and so forth. The coach mentioned it, that they recognize that the dead bowling going to be crucial. So they are working on those things. So we have a month to go, and it's how well we prepare between now and the start of the competition.
Yeah, because I think when you look at the fast bowlers, I think a lot of them they have done well in Test cricket. I think in Test cricket the lengths are different, but you do in Test cricket for success is a total different thing that's going to call up on you in white ball cricket. So I think that Shannon Gabriel, Kemar Roach have done really well at Test cricket. So it's going to be exciting to see how they make that transition.
And we're going to be getting into that fast bowling unit too. Let's take a look at Andre Russell. He comes in. He's the big X factor here for the West Indies. Any team in the tournament would want an Andre Russell in their squad at this point in time, based on what we've seen him do recently in the IPL. He's in the form of his life. Chris, take a shot at this first. But can Andre bring that form to the World Cup, or has he delivered all his runs in the IPL?
I think he can.
Because England is a different situation.
I think he can. I think one of the things that we're going to have to do well is how we manage our players, the roles we give them. I think you can see Andre Russell have a pretty well-defined role in the KKR team, which is to play with freedom.
Yeah, right.
So I think it's how we manage him, the kind of role that we give him, what we expect of him, and not to be one-dimensional about how we use Andre Russell, because he's a match winner and he can really change the game at any point in time. So we have to use him and manage him very properly.
Right. Nima, I'm going to have to take a shot at Russell when we get back. So we take an innings break, and when we come back, lots more on this West Indies World Cup squad. Soon come.